Welcome back to the back nine of the final of the Fuengirola Open here on NBDG English, sponsored by Latitude 64, NBDG, and Zona Disc Golf here at the Mijas disc golf course out in lovely 20 degrees Celsius plus Spain. We are the perfect flight commentary team with Jørn, Idar, and Dean, and we have a barn burner of a final nine ahead of us. We got Kymen and Nestori tied at -19, Emil and Rasmus hanging in there at -13. We are ready for a tricky final nine. Jørn, Idar, what do we have ahead of us?
Oh, we got some action in front of us on the back nine here. Kymen just played a fantastic front nine, got -5, and he's ready to keep attacking, ready for the kill here at Nestori at hole 10. It's a par 3, 90 meter. If you watch the front nine, you know there is elevation all over the place, but this is actually not going anywhere. You're throwing pretty much at the same elevation, but over a big canyon. So the big risk, of course, throwing it short, get a roll away, and having a awful second shot. But backhand, forehand, you can pretty much do whatever you want here as long as you stay away from that rolling. And Kymen with the box. This is leaking out to the right, and that is not. He should listen to the commentary.
Yeah. A lot like the commentary, that rollaway was less than ideal.
Now.
But now out here, it's pretty tricky because you step up to a lot of tee pads and view holes as a bonus birdie, but this is one that you gotta get, so you can't be happy with that rollaway.
Oh, Nestori got the rollaway as well. Both did a mistake of just throwing a little bit too low and then hitting that bank. And yeah, you gotta really work for a birdie, but more realistically, there's a par waiting for you. So, but you're going into a stretch now after a few very hard holes for the guys here. These are the ones that you need to get to be able to contend here. So we see just you can't say even a tombstone. It's just stopped for Rasmus to. And we have the last man on the card, Emil Nilsson. We talked about it on the front nine. Nestori, Emil, and Rasmus. All three are pretty young to the sport. Rasmus started in 18, Emil here in 19, and then Nestori in 20. So, yeah, the old guy on the team here is Kymen, who has been around for some time.
And some agility from the cameraman there. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Kymen is just showing his class here, taking the birdies as they come, playing for par when he has to, and you know, he's just playing solid golf. This is the third round. I mentioned it in the front nine if you weren't there. The first round was this layout. The second round was a more birdieable, go-get-'em layout. And here's Kymen, you know, finishing up his game plan. Takes the birdies as he can. Par is fine. And we see the results.
We're going to another one that you expect to get here at hole 11, par 3, 78 meters. Third easiest hole on the course. Just throw it straight. Make sure it doesn't hyzer out too early. Either forehand or backhand, doesn't matter that much. Might not be the easiest of birdies, but for sure it's going to be an easy par. You can also see them just going a little bit of a spike hyzer over everything and just trying to get it to stick there, but most likely we will see just a couple of straight shots towards the basket. There's plenty of room to work with.
No, sure.
This is fading out a little bit early, hitting some trees.
A lot short.
Yeah, we agree. Look short.
Just a painful look.
There's that mint green. Lots from Kymen. This is looking better. How is he flipping that one? If it gets back in time, it should be on the green.
Here in the Netherlands, there's a lot of people who throw Kastaplast, and yeah, I've seen the lots more and more as people's kind of go-to driver for a lot of holes, a lot of situations. A lot of respect for that disc.
Yeah. As we see, Nestori is showcasing that spike hyzer route. Of course, you bring in the rollaways a little bit more. Mijas is a course which is really compact, very dry course, which means that if you're just a little bit off with the angle, rollaway is high probability. And let's see.
Yeah,
Hmm?
I mean, anything with a hyzer, you're looking at a, you know, increased control, but also increased, like you said, rollaway ability. But you know, out here, you got to take your chances.
No. Yeah, there we go. That was the one we talked about. And Nestori get some contending branches there. So the ceiling is a little bit lower than it looks here, but yeah, there we go. They just pushed him. Push down.
These holes look like a lot of work, to be honest. And you know, the mental game's got to be strong to keep fresh on every tee pad after working for your par, working for your bogey. It's nothing easy out here at the Fuengirola Open.
Oh. And that was Kymen for the lead, minus 24. The tournament so far, 1 stroke ahead of Nestori, which means he caught up really quick and is now in the lead, putting the pressure on Nestori to try to create some magic. And I'm not going to be pessimistic, but I don't think hole 12 is the hole to do it. Fantastic view. It's probably the signature hole off the course, but there is wind and the rollaway. You see the slopes here. It's just 95 meters, but man, it's 95 meters from the basket and down into the valley, and you do not want to end up in there. So not the hardest of holes, but a pretty tough birdie, I would say.
Jørn, Idar, can I give some advice?
Please do.
Land it flat.
Good advice.
Bro, look at that flag whipping. You see even the back of Kymen's shirt there, whipping in the wind. He's throwing the berg.
Oh,
Wants to land it flat. Let's see what happens.
yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeesh.
That's so his second drive will be from down there.
I mean, how safe can you be? You're throwing
Oh,
the
look at
berg.
this,
You're like,
Tummer.
don't worry about it. Oh boy.
I mean, I like the idea, but with all this wind, exposing the flight plate like that is always going to bring some risk into play.
You think the thumber's the right play, but like you said, you got to think about what are you doing with the bottom end of the disc.
Oh, this is stable.
Where's the wind gonna push? Yeah.
Emil is actually solving that a lot better than I thought. But out of his hand, you can see the stability look like maybe a tilt or something like that, because it just started going straight down.
I'm really loving this because now we're seeing a forehand. We're seeing 4 different approaches to the shot, and none of them so far are good. Let's see what happens. This could be on the highway. It could be parked. Could be down the hill. Nobody knows.
In the ocean.
Haha.
Oh, it's left to right wind.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.
Oh, wow. That one just kept going.
I mean, at that point, maybe you should just re-tee. I was about to say.
Here we are with a re-tee. Yep. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. Yes. The re-tee was the proper decision there. Well played. Kymen just trying to pitch up for his par.
Wow.
The cameraman that's on the tee pad didn't think that that would be in the coverage, but there it is. And here we go.
And Emil, it looked kind of nice. It looked. Oh, did it go over?
That's fine.
Yeah, Emil's looked kind of nice, but it just skipped up and then started rolling, and yeah, too bad. Rasmus, I gotta say it, not a bad bogey save, to be honest.
No, I mean you re-tee, you think maybe a 5, but bogey save there. No shame in that game. Look at this caddy with the easy go, hot pink t-shirt. He's doing good work out there in the hot sun. Kymen tapping in his par. And Emil went to the backwards hat early, sticking with it. Tapping in his par as well.
Alright, gotta keep the pulse down a little bit. So hole 13 is a par 3, but it's quite downhill, 165 meters. Nothing fancy here, just throw it far and then hit the little mound here and hopefully be somewhere around the basket. The wind is a factor here as well, since it's a little bit of a canyon, but yeah, there's backstop all over the basket, so the biggest mistake you can do is to actually turn it over and go far right. But it's quite a distance for a par 3.
Yeah, this is one of those tee shots where when someone just yanks it to the right, you feel the need to say, oh, he wanted it too much. He wanted it all and he got nothing. And so you want to avoid that off the tee. But let's see how the fellas attack it.
And this looks nice. Kymen, unless it rolls. There is those bushes to contend with on the right-hand side of the green, which, yeah, if you, like we said, if you yank it to the right, you will have a much more difficult. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
A much more difficult approach. And that will be a. You gotta work with that one.
Yeah, that's the old, the one thing I couldn't do and I did it kind of tee shot.
But again, a fantastic view out toward the ocean.
Yeah, while we have a minute here, I will give a lot of respect to this tournament in general. I talked to a few of the players that have played this tournament. They love the catering. Everything is right there on the course. Everything is well taken care of. Everyone loves the experience. NBDGX next year will be EPTX. So sign up for any events that you see, including the Fuengirola Open 2022.
And Rasmus is parking it. Wow.
Don't hit your head on the basket while you tap that one in, bro. That's the only damage so far. He's already thinking about hole 14, while these guys have a lot of work to do.
Little step out, Annie backhand floaty thingy around the bushes. And that's short.
This terrain is really, a lot of the viewers watching are thinking, I've never had to deal with stuff like this before. And, yeah, I'm right there with you. It is, woo! Don't let it dissuade you from signing up for next year's tournament. But, wow, there's a lot of mess to deal with.
Wow! Come on!
Ooh.
That's just, he didn't even need to do a forehand there. And just a sexy little forehand Annie Berg straight into the middle.
The old whatever blows your skirt up, whatever floats your boat, whatever, you know, whatever euphemism you want to pick. Wow.
If I had a
Kymen
skirt.
is on fire. He's keeping the clean sheet, Jørn Idar. I mean, we're 4 holes into the back 9, and no bogeys to be had there.
And he...
Kymen Modig, classy player. Well played, sir.
And he now have a comfortable 3-shot lead going into hole 14, par 3, 75 meter. And this is a little bit of a tricky one because it's an island green with a drop zone. So you will see when we get here. I mean, it's not the furthest, it's downhill. But the tricky thing is to get it to actually stick in a tricky pin position. You can go forehand, but then you will need to get the height just right so you don't stand up and roll. And if you're gonna go backhand, well, you gotta make sure you land way before the basket because of the compact earth. The chances of a skip is pretty high.
Jørn Idar, I don't know about you. I'm not stepping up to this tee pad with abundance of confidence. A lot of things can go wrong here.
And if you hit the tree in the front there as well, likelihood of rolling OB is pretty high. Let's see if he... we'll see when we get down there. Ja, inte jättebra. As they would say in Sweden. We'll see when we get up there.
I'll take your word for it. Let's check out this forehand.
Has the height, but a little... Yeah, that's a little bit short.
It's so tricky because you can see the basket, but you can also see this huge, thick bush/tree.
And this is going in. Oh.
Even a good shot catches the tree.
Yeah.
It is so tricky out here in Mijas. Yeah, that's the play I love.
Oh no.
Yep. Shows what I know, Jørn Idar, but, you know, staying hydrated, walking down the hill, and let's see what Kymen can do from the drop zone.
That's the only sensible thing to do unless you have to absolutely attack. And no, come on. You gotta be kidding me. And from there, it's just normal OB rules, so he will be putting uphill, but... Man,
Jørn Idar, we're supposed to be impartial observers here, but that was physically painful to be a part of. That roll away.
Yeah.
Whoa, woof.
And Nestori knows that he needs to be attacking and was on the pin, but not high enough. As we see Rasmus giving away more strokes to this guy, Emil. Is now looking to consolidate his 3rd place. Unless there is some contenders coming in from chase cards. Which means that there is a 3-stroke difference between 3rd and 4th here, between Rasmus and Emil, but also a 3-stroke difference between 1st and 2nd. So let's see if Nestori can attack hole 15. It's a par 3. Again, nothing out of the ordinary here, no OBs or anything, but you just gotta match that landing angle. Throw straight at it, but there is also possible to go a pretty big spike hyzer and just try to basically land around the basket because the probability of rolling away is a little bit lower on this one.
It really, really is a course where you have to know your discs, you gotta know the wind, you gotta take that stuff into account.
Oh my, what?
Woo! Or you could ring up aces.
Oh!
Look at Emil, just play into the camera. Check out my blonde hair, gonna put my hat back on, check out the replay, hyzer, super casual. And just trying to drop it in the bucket, young fella.
Oh, there was another disc coming in as well.
Oh, that's a lot of chains, Jørn Idar.
Oh, that's like
a lot of chains.
5 centimeters too far.
He's still thinking about it to this day. Whenever you're watching this, he's still thinking about it. Let's see what Kymen can ring up.
If you can copy it. This looks a bit higher.
Was
A
it?
little far.
That's a safe play, Jørn Idar. If you want to play safe, you got to go kind of past the basket. You do not want to land it on that short hill and get one of those sick rollaways that they've dealt with for, oh, I don't know, 14 holes before this.
And this is a little bit short, not what you want. That bush is really, really guarding.
No, that's the old passive-aggressive when you're on the card. Hey, easy 3 from there. And even though you're inside the circle.
And this is the second easiest hole, so you know that these guys are expecting a... that's perfect.
Oh.
They are expecting a birdie here, and a couple of tap-ins waiting for us.
2 tap-it-ins and 2 misery loves companies there.
That went actually pretty far for Emil. After hitting like 75% of the basket and just mashing through it, he's just mashing it right back, hitting dead center, and this time it sticks.
Not gonna lie, that was a lot of chains. Anytime someone takes their hat off like that,
You know there's been plenty of chains involved.
legit H-run. Yep. All right. So, 75% birdies. I love it. I love it. And speaking of 75, here comes a 75-meter par 3. Tell us all about it. Number 16, Jørn Idar.
Oh yes, there is some OBs here to contend with, but it is fairly straightforward. You see the stakes here on the left-hand side, which might come into play unless you keep enough angle on it. So it plays more like 90 meters, to be honest, because of the elevation, but should be pretty easy up and down, at least for a par. But I have a sneaking feeling we will see a birdie here or two from the lead card.
Yeah, those OB stakes loom large, throwing uphill. Being a Dutch Netherlands player, throwing uphill scares me very much. We never get to practice it out here.
Hills in general.
And, yeah, they don't exist. So you want to throw a little more understable uphill, is what I've heard. I never get to try it. But let's see how the fellas attack this one. Emil not happy with his effort. Let's see what Kymen has in store.
Yeah, that's... I gotta admit, they look to be a little bit too scared about the OB line here.
I mean, those stakes are very visible from the tee pad, and you know, it's a human element. I mean, that really gets in your head.
And this looks to be leaking out, but it stops perfect. Of course, coming in with that angle, yeah, there is always a risk for some skip, but he just kept it nice and wide and ending up in a perfect position for a birdie. And Nestori is flipping that one nicely, but ending up a little bit short. That's surprising. He has the power to get there for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this hole's not about power. It's about knowing your discs, knowing about your technique, and this is not a shot a lot of people practice. So I feel, woo!
After going OB right, just a huge putt by Emil. Look at that angle.
Emil doesn't care about anything. He's like, fence at my back, OB, whatever, ring it up. That's a par.
What a par. So, and you might not see it here on this angle, but this is also one of the nicer views on the course. Gotta admit, the back nine is really where the scenes are coming out, but also it is the easiest of the two nines. This one being the 8th easiest, the previous one being the 2nd easiest, and we're going into the 4th easiest hole on hole 17. So
Yeah, it's hard to really appreciate the scenery here because, you know, we're all disc golfers and we're looking at how ridiculous the terrain can be for the rollaways and things. And here we go into hole 17, also brought to you by the DiscGolfLawyer.com. Thank you, Marcus Barnett. This is another one where you want to land it flat, a little bit downhill instead of uphill. Rough terrain, and yeah, Jørn Idar doesn't look great there past the basket.
No, you just gotta land early. Like, I'm not a good golfer, but land early is my best advice here. A very easy par, but you gotta work for that birdie for sure. Yeah, it's all about the margins here.
I mean, tough to get really aggressive here, going straight at the basket. You need something that hangs out like this and just kind of drops down where you want it. It is super tricky shot.
Yeah,
it's a really hard tee shot.
Just leaning into that one, but too much steam on that bad boy. Just can't make it happen. As we saw, Rasmus ending on the green, but has a death putt. If you can ever define one, yeah, just give me 1.5 more minutes, and you will see Rasmus's putt.
Yeah, you'd want to be inside the circle, but inside the circle on this kind of hole, you want to be inside the circle like, 4 meters or inside, because yeah, no one wants to run this from like 9.5, 8 meters.
And yeah, there we see that it looks like Nestori just parked it. Kymen has a death putt, and yeah.
He hates it. He hates it. Everyone hates it. I got nervous just looking at it.
Rasmus, he's going for it. Yeah, that's some balls on Rasmus. Great putt.
That's something to tell your grandkids about there. It's like, you don't understand. It was such a death putt. I was at -14. Yeah. Well done, Rasmus. Yeah. A lot of respect there.
Yeah.
I mean, Kymen, he played it well, but Rasmus can tell Kymen, I don't respect your paella here in Spain. Heading into hole 18, tell us all about it, Jørn Idar.
This is the last one of the round, and by the looks of the scores, it looks like the victory will be going to Sweden, but you never know, because this is the 16th hardest hole on the course. You need to go left of this power line here. There is OB on the left, there is OB before the green, and up on the road and beyond. So yeah, basically just a pretty straightforward tee shot to get in a good position to attack on the second shot.
Yeah, 201 meters. It's not a par 3, it's a par 4, which gives you a little bit of breathing room. No, it's cool. And yeah, just place your drive and get ready to work around that power pole for the pitch up and the birdie.
So, but of course, it depends a little bit on your choice of disc here as well. You want to give it as much of a distance as you can, but you also want to make sure that you hyzer up as early as possible, or at the perfect time, so you don't end up going too far. This looks pretty much perfect, but if you go with something too stable, you will hyzer out early and will have a very long, unnecessarily long approach shot to the basket, which, yeah, it's not ideal to say the least.
Yeah, shots like this are a real balancing act, aren't they? You don't want to bite off too much, because if you flip it, you might miss the Mando, and you're almost like, wow, I really crushed it, but then you miss the Mando. So it's like, you either play for the placement or you play for the distance, and there's a happy medium between the two. Let's see what if Kymen can find that perfect space in between here.
And one thing you can't see on camera here is how tired these guys are after going up and down all this elevation. It just takes a toll. You need some stamina to get through it all. I didn't see where that ended up. But, Rasmus holds that one a little bit too much. And ending up... yeah, it's been a long round for Rasmus. Missing the Mando there. Fairly unpressured. Just miss that you don't have to do.
Yeah, the Mando really coming into play more than I would think on the second shots for these guys.
Yeah.
I think you're right. A little bit of fatigue, seeping into the edges here.
This one from Emil. It's just perfect. Great way to end.
Really classy from Emil to finish up the right way.
And to seal the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot harder than it looks there. That's not an easy shot around the Mando. Yeah, pitch it up, get out of here. The day is done. You can stop grimacing after every shot.
2021,
no
thank you.
Yes. Luna pitch up. And here's Kymen finishing up. I mean, one bogey in the whole 18 holes. Idar, that is good stuff.
That is good stuff indeed. -8. Hot round and then some. Just a fantastic showing by Kymen here on the last round to have what was, just fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I mean, really, shout out to Kymen as well. Like, super nice guy. Really well respected in the European community, disc golf community as a whole. Like disc golf kind of lifer kind of dude. But big shout out to Zona Disc Golf in Espanol. Thank you for helping us provide the coverage. Shout out to natural born disc golfer Latitude 64. Thank you so much for your help. Jørn, Idar, what do you have to say?
Well, all I gotta say is that I really look forward to an excited 2022 season, so make sure you hit that subscribe button because there will be a lot of awesome disc golf to watch in 2022 with us here. So on behalf of myself and Dean and everyone at NBDG, just see you next year.
Yeah, love that we're going out on that perfect shot. Look at Kymen's perfect berg into the basket. Fuengirola Open 2021 is in the books. Sign up next year. See you there.